Non-toxic Noxians again, who are looking to uh they're a little beaten and bruised, but they're looking to make the name themselves against the classic, the return of Team Unknown.
All right. Let's get TU or NTN in the chat. Who are you rooting for here? Uh, Looks like we do have a few bans going down. Uh,
It,
Timo, Zaya, the Evelyn ban. They don't want to deal with that. Uh, Given some of the things that Evelyn did that last game, yeah, I wouldn't want to see it either.
100%, 100%. Yeah, it's very funny to see the immediate response from last game that despite it all, non-toxic Noxian still played a great game. I wouldn't want us to see that Evelyn either.
Yep. As an Evelyn main myself, I can certainly appreciate a really good Evelyn like that. And uh, we have certainly not seen the last uh,
Short bus dojo.
of Short Bus Dojo here, but we will continue to uh, give you as much of these games as we can.
100%. But that is not. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial because
Yes.
Team Unknown are some of my favorite people to watch. They've been classic since the very beginning. Very much
Mhm.
known for their bot and mid lanes. Although they've had some great top laners and great jungles too. Very excited to see now. I'm noting a champion that I don't often see in PLC, which is always a fun time for me, and that is Zillion. Talk to me about
Yes.
that.
So Zillion, I think, would be a really good pick. Looks like he is. They looks like they are out of lane order as typical for non-toxic auctions. But it's probably a Zillion mid lane if I'd have to guess. Once again, Lulu on support there with Dark Chocolate. We do have Kodo Draco uh, on Renekton here. A very strong pick. Um, and we do have Set as well, probably in the top lane up against Renekton there.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a fascinating comp already from both teams. Having a Lulu and a Zillion. Zillion is traditionally someone that I tend to think of in the support position, and then they go and lock in another AP champion with Ash. Wow.
Yep, and we do have Valentine uh, here with Jinx and Sea Pudding on Milio, and so it'll be fun. It'll be a really fun game. Two champions returning from last game with Lulu and Ash. So the return of that bot lane. We do have some very strong engages, though, from Renekton and Wukong, Seraphine and Milio here.
From both teams, if you kind of put aside the Diana and the Wukong for a little bit, both teams are very safe comps. It looks like the kind of positions, and the Melio, the Lulu. Uh, it's a pretty wild scenario. So while it would be very interesting a bomb on Diana and she goes in, but I also think that it's going to be very hard for both teams to pick people off unless
Yes.
they're caught out.
Yes. So I'd certainly see more or less a repeat of last game, at least for in terms of it being relatively even for the whole game.
Mm, right. Yeah, I think this could go either way. Now, I am noting that a Jinx pick is very interesting. Not something that tend to see with Team Unknown. Now, I haven't followed the Tarek Varus buffs and nerfs lately, but that is something that went completely not chosen at all. But Team Unknown very flexible in the bot lane. It's just the way it kind of goes
Yes,
sometimes.
but especially with the range advantage that Milio can give Jinx here, and so she's able to easily pick off Lulu and Ash from a range. They don't have to worry about getting up close and personal with them. They easily just outrange the Ashe, outrange the Lulu, and then. Uh, but I do also love the return of the burst AP assassin from non-toxic Noxians in their jungle.
Mm, yeah, 100%. Not exactly a one-to-one. Diana historically much tankier than Evelynn, but pretty
Yes.
close. They serve very similar roles, at least as far as team fights go,
Well,
or not
with
team fights, but
Evelynn, you
lanes.
can, as long as you survive the initial fight, you can come back to another fight with full hit points.
Right.
So as long as you survive, you can keep going. But
Keyword.
that's the only thing. You have to survive that initial fight.
Right.
So you have to survive, you get out, you've got about a 10-second delay, and then you're back in.
Yeah, 100%. Now I'm noticing another thing that is catching my eye is the amount of CC on both teams. Now, no one champion on either team is like super CC heavy. Is not, but
Mhm.
the combined CC of each of them really makes, especially Team Unknown, a very scary team. The stun on the Renekton can set up for the very annoying ults from the Wukong, which is immediately going to be followed up by the Seraphine ult. Any two of these champions could really spell a lot of danger. Even just the Jinx grenades is something that could really spell disaster for anyone who's caught out. But again, I don't feel like a lot of these people are going to be caught out, especially with a Zillion on the enemy team.
Yes. So it's a matter of, like last game, are you going to be getting picked off one by one, or are you going to go in as a team, utilize those strengths that you have? You've got that Zillion ult who can take out somebody who is being picked. As long as the rest of your team is there to follow up on it, you have the Ashe ult, you have the but on the other side, you have the Renekton and the Seraphine. You have Wukong who can knock people up twice in a row just to you get two knockups, get people lined up in a Seraphine ult, or the other way around. Start with a Seraphine ult, get people that are lined up, nice cluster, and then Wukong goes in there to chain the CC on top of that. So there's a lot of chaining potential with the teams. Each champion not having necessarily a lot of heavy CC, but a moderate amount of crowd control from just about everyone.
Yeah, 100%. They're my favorite power couple. Shout out to the twitter.com account that posts Wukong and Seraphine as a couple. It's a very funny, but in real game, it does not take much for either one of them to place a absolutely suffocating amount of CC, followed by the damage that they can deal. And we are loading into the game right now. So while that is happening, we want to hear from you, the audience. Who do you think is going to take it? Do you think it will be Team Unknown, the returning
Favorites, or do you think it's going to be another win from the non-toxic Noxians? Love to hear from you. What about you, Billy? Who do you think's taking it?
So, honestly, team game with the Galio and Evelynn, I would love to see either team win, honestly. So, uh, this is a great game for me to be neutral towards each team.
Okay.
To be non-biased. That's what I mean to say.
Well, I disagree. I want to get canceled on picking the wrong people. I really think the non-toxic good game, so I'll say they're gonna win it. As much as I love Team Unknown, you know I love you guys. Come at me.
They're gonna cancel you.
They
They're doing
better.
well as if somebody cancels you.
Yeah.
All right. So just about loaded in here. How do you think the beginning?
A lot of the champions that they picked have not picked a very heavy early game, with the exception of Renekton. But like Renekton, like Braum is not necessarily someone who will kill you in lane at level 1, but you don't invade him because his passive is ridiculous if you walk into his bush.
It's with and you're the one person you face checked with is gone entirely.
Right.
There's no question about it.
And then he's got a couple second cooldown, and he can do it to the next person.
Exactly. And then Renekton is someone who will kill you in lane level 1 if you give him an ounce of pressure. But in jungle, it's not the case because he doesn't do well when there's a lot of people nearby. He's quite shy as a lizard.
All right, looks like we're getting our typical setup along the river, getting vision in various places, and taking what we can get in terms of scouting out where everyone is. This seems to be the fairly meta setup to just kind of scout out at the beginning of the game, cover your entrances to the jungle.
Yes, and props and cries of rejoicing have come from the production as we are into the game. A very exciting game it should be, as two Titans slug it out in our fourth game. The fourth game of the Swiss stage for PLC. Does look like Diana's trying to see you a little bit. Does see the Wukong, so they kind of know which way things are going. A little Draven Ward popping out there to make sure that another invade doesn't come up.
Yeah,
we are into the lane phase.
Yeah, Wukong essentially making sure that he doesn't get ganked early on in the jungle there, as there's a lot of pressure here from that. But Zilean getting the vision on Raptors, so they know exactly where Wukong's going and what his tempo is.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm excited to see what's going on in this top lane. Renekton, someone who's a very big bully. However, Sett is someone that can, tank the hits and has that insane amount of regen. I'm not too familiar with how it goes. Big stun that allows Sett to just start wailing on Renekton, who is happy to trade right back. I do think Sett comes up on top on that, though.
Yes. Sett is one of the few contenders who can easily take on Renekton at level 1, mostly because he has his passive 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it does look like a big fighting going either way. Already at 200 health, both of them at level 1. The final couple of minions are going to go, or rather the next wave is going to show up, which should give them level 2, and it will be waited with bated breath to see if this will result in one of the top laners going down. It doesn't look like a lot of action happening other than that, so we will see what they can do with it. Level 2 hits on the Sett, who misses his stun. It does allow the Renekton some more space, although big hits coming out, does miss the Haymaker, and so Renekton will have to recall alive but hurting.
It looks like he is going to at least wait to clear the lane before going back. Might be a costly decision, though.
Right, it's very tough because recalling this early means that you do lose a lot of money in gold. That is a very gutsy place to go. Takes a big hit from the Haymaker. Looks like he overjudged his ability to use the slice and dice to position there, and the first blood does go to the Sett of the non-toxic champion.
Yes, and very good play from Sett right there. And little bit of trading there in the bot lane and mid lane. Looks like we have two typical supports just playing in mid lane against each other. Very interesting matchup that we'll see how it goes. But we've got Lulu getting a lot of poke here onto the Jinx.
Teleport coming in from the Sett, who immediately starts off with a stun and starts wailing on him. It looks like Sett is happy to take this trade now. Renekton is probably stancing to go home. Drops health really quickly, and Kodo Draco is able to slay Freak GBG. Oh my goodness, we have a 1-1 top lane.
Yep, that Colt, I don't think it's Coldamik, I think that's his stun, but the Q on Renekton, just being able to get that health back. And yeah, so it is Coldamik, and being able to just get that little bit of health back made the difference, especially with his minion wave. He had all the minions attacking Sett, and he was able to keep the vision on that, and that made the difference in that fight.
100%. People, at least in lower levels of League of Legends gameplay, discount how much minions can do in these fights. Some big trades back and forth. It looks like Seraphine is just absolutely wailing on Zilean, who is not able to land those bombs. We are getting some pokes back and forth from the bot lane. Got to give it to Team Unknown, who are taking their trades like a champion. More fighting in the top lane as Slice and Dice comes out of the Renekton to deal some damage, but I think we're back into skirmish mode for all three lanes.
Yes, and with the range that Jinx has, especially with Milio, she's able to more or less suppress the enemy Ashe and keep them from pushing too far.
Yeah, 100%. But it is really interesting to see that we haven't seen very much action from either jungler yet. Oh my goodness! And Death is able to slide a kill straight into the Zilean, who must have had his shop open. And goodness gracious, I was not ready for that.
It was the very tip of that ability too.
Yeah.
Just knowing your champion's range and being able to take advantage of that is certainly something that Death is good at. I have seen him play many times, and he is very consistent at knowing what his range is.
Yeah, traditionally playing a lot of control mages, be that Syndra, be that Azir, he does very, very good. It does look like the jungles, or the Dragon is able to go to Team Unknown, who are stancing themselves up to a very strong early game presence. We have been watching on the camera Renekton and Set going back and forth, Set having to flash away that earlier team fight. Team Unknown doing very well for themselves right now.
And we have Wukong making sure that the lane is clear for Seraphine.
Wow. Seraphine ult coming out with Wukong being very sly, but it does look like he's on a ward for Diana to jump over the wall. Diana able to get a second dash and is able to clear out Wukong. Very good play from the Noxians.
So Feat of Warfare could go either direction right now. The next kill on either team claims that. And we've seen strong contenders on both sides for who might be able to claim it. The bot lane and jungle could easily take that, or the top lane could take it from either team, honestly.
Yeah, and both teams playing a very strong game, very surprising game. Neither one of them can put their guard down as Ashe is able to start chaining the slows together. Milio and able to get those heals and those shields out, which basically stops any advance. I think we're going to see a lot of this as the game continues.
You know, a lot of disengaged tools that are being used here in the bot lane.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for the non-toxic Noxians to get anything more than a quick poke, a quick skirmish, at least until team fight phases begin.
Yes, and if we'll definitely want to see if they are team fighting better than last game. If it does go anything similar to last game, knowing Team Unknown's team fight potential, it could be deadly for non-toxic Noxian.
Does look like we have a gank up the top. Diana able to dash in real quick. Renekton just making a beeline to his tower and does make it home safely.
Yeah, there was no ult up on Diana at the time, and as it was used earlier, otherwise Renekton would have easily gone down right there and they would have claimed that feat. But that does give them the jungle pressure, the lane pressure to be able to take grubs here.
Yeah, the stakes are high right now. The teams
Yes.
within 200 gold of each other at any given point. It does look like the Void Grubs are going to go to the side of the non-toxic Noxians. But 2-2, the Warfare could go either way.
Yes, Warfare could go either way, Tower could go either way. It is still a very evenly matched game so far.
Certainly. This Zilean, very brave here, and is too brave as the double cast from the Seraphine knocks out that missing health and kills the Zilean for the Warfare going to the side of Team Unknown.
Yeah, you have to be paying attention to when Seraphine has that double cast, because if you're not, then she's going to sneak it in there and it's going to catch you by surprise and you're going to end up dying just like that.
You know, it always bugs me how much people play Seraphine as a support. I really think she's a really crazy mage. I like her in the mid lane or even the bot position because she just does so much damage.
Yeah, I remember fighting Seraphine against Seraphine in the top lane one time.
Wow.
And even that was a very rough game. You play a more or less, she can be considered a control mage more than an enchanter,
100%.
and so you get a lot of that damage potential on her, and she just ends up rolling with it, just steamrolling.
Yeah, it's hard for me to call her an enchanter when she has one ability that heals or
Yeah.
shields, and it's on like a 20-second cooldown or even maybe
A lot
longer
of-
than that.
A lot of people call her Sona 2.0, but Sona's the enchanter, whereas Seraphine is definitely more of a control mage.
Speaking of Seraphine, just running at bot lane, not getting much, whiffs the ultimate. Does look like some damage forces Lulu to ultimate, but we didn't get much more than that. It does look like Kodo Draco able to steal a kill on the top side while we were looking away. Wow, what a flash! Able to get over the wall, but it is not enough from the damage over time, I think, from Red Buff.
It
And
was
Diana
from-
is able to secure that kill.
It was from Leandries that damage came
Leandries.
from. So Diana has Leandries and is able to just get enough damage over time, especially against a high health Renekton. Renekton he has a tunneler so far and a pickaxe. He does have a lot of those healthy items for playing as a bruiser.
Which is kind of a shame because the actual moment-to-moment gameplay, he absolutely broke the ankles of the Diana, but it was too little too late.
Yes. There's only so much that you can do in a 1v2. Sometimes you can get one kill in there and then you die to the other one. But honestly, in a 1v2, if you're able to come out with that kill, then it can be beneficial to your team.
Yeah. Does look like the Fire Drake is able to go to Team Unknown, who has already had a Drake so far. Team Unknown very much known for their ability to move together as a single unit, and that is really beneficial when you want to take epic monsters.
Yes, looks like we do also have turret plates going down in bot lane to Jinx here, able to slow the Ashe to keep her suppressed for a little bit longer to get away.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, taking a moment to look at the status of the game, that the score is so close when it feels like Team Unknown is doing very well for themselves. Set yoinking Renekton back there, doesn't do much damage in return. Set not enjoying his life. That is a Renekton with a Spear of Shojin.
Yes, and Renekton with Spirit of Shojin is very strong early on, especially at only level 9, level 10 right now. And
I wasn't going to comment on this because I thought he would get away really quick, but it looks like the Renekton gets the showstopper, and a lot of members of the fight right here. Kodo Draco able to kill another person, Death catching up. Death using his ultimate to bring the Zilean right back with his Siren Call. And the Wukong joins into the fray to try to finish off this Zilean, who is very low health. Wukong dashing forward to try to close it out. Zilean able to get a lot of movement speed. Will we see enough distance for the Wukong to grab it? Zilean gets the ultimate and is able to revive under tower where he should be safe. Wukong opting for the dive, not able to close it out. Zilean able to live with what, 2 HP? Wow, what a play.
certainly, Zilean using his mobility to his advantage, not quite having the same movement speed as Wukong does with that magical footwear, but being able to barely get away is something that is very impressive no matter who you're playing. But very well-timed ult, and looks like we
These
got
guys are
more
still
action top lane.
fighting. They're just like, every time we look back at them, they're fighting. Calm down, kids. But yeah, seriously, that Zilean play, like you said, was very impressive to be able to hold out that ult until that last second. It does look like we're having a little bit of skirmish around the board. Seraphine doing an obscene amount of damage to the Zilean, who just got back with full health. Don't remember that very well. Able to deal some damage right back. It does look like, just a moment, we're having a fight there. It does look like, was that a cleanse that was used? No, it was
Milio's ult
Milio.
in response to the Ashe arrow.
We do appreciate production trying to catch up with all of these. You're doing a great job.
But it was Milio's ult that
that's right,
cleansed
that
the
cleanses.
Ashe arrow there.
100%.
And
100%.
So definitely a very good choice going with Milio as he gets his redemption to even further boost his healing and shielding power.
Yeah. Emilio is so interesting. I love to compare him to John, who does a lot of similar things. But I can wait for a second. It looks like we're going to get a tower dive set immediately using the showstopper. But whiffing his stun, does look like we have a little bit of a teleport coming in for the Seraphine. We got two people up top splitting the non-toxic Noxian set, opting to run straight into the base, giving the kill to Death. Diana able to run away because the Renekton is not enough to keep down and kill Diana herself.
So one. Death certainly lives up to his name.
100%. Great player.
I've never seen every game. I don't think I've seen a game of him playing where he hasn't gotten, I think, at least 10 kills in a game.
In the mid lane a couple times, and I still wear one of his compliments as a badge of honor. He's just a very respectable guy, very, very polite, and a lot of fun to watch.
Always. Going down to Team Unknown, as they also have the feat of, they did it, but I don't see that they, yeah, they do have the empowered boots, so they do have the blessing of
Ooh,
knowledge.
Ashel's able to catch the Wukong. He's going to be stunned for a very, very long time. He was able to catch Wukong just doing his blue buff. Death walking up for a little bit of poke damage, but realizing that there are 3 people in his jungle. He needs to get out of there as quick. Showstopper used by the set to deal a lot of damage, but it looks like Renekton is just too strong, doesn't care about any shield, and is able to slice and dice bring it.
Meanwhile, they
Down to nothing.
while all that was happening, they've lost the tower mid lane, and they're losing a second one here to take the dragon. I would be worth, or the dragon and a couple kills would be worth the losing 2 towers. But given that one of those kills was a huge gold injection, and to even it back up.
Yeah, Steelers are certainly taking the lead mostly with those objectives that they're securing, but could still go either way. Although I will say, Fiend are kind of trading blows either way. Death is absolutely piloting this champion very well.
And he is more or less a death machine. He's very mechanical in how he operates and player outside of pro play.
Yeah, I one of them is just the calm, collect attitude that a lot of these players have.
And let's see here. Oh, Asher.
Ashel does come out, just a generic skirmish. Use both very powerful ults.
It's a really good utility to have with Milio, especially since he only really has one source that he needs to use it on right now. And so he just has to keep it up for that, and it's very easy to respond to it. It looks like we've got a lot of vision being cleared and placed here as the games continue, the little mini games that we have here within this match.
100%. And I want to point out my own little personal caster curse where I talked about how Team Unknown usually has very exciting bot lanes, and we have 0-0 on all 4 members of the bot lane going on.
And this game, it's been a mid lane game, a mid lane and top lane. Top lane certainly not being an island in this game, it's received a lot of attention from both teams.
True.
And mid lane just being an absolute slay fest on the side of Seraphine. They decided to take it down to bot lane and sort out their differences there, so they're a little bit less of a target.
100%. And I think it's interesting the way that both teams are moving. They're being very safe. It does look like Otacon is being started by the non-toxic Noxians, who have a considerable amount of vision here. It does look like the teleport is coming up top lane for Team Unknown to be responding to a little bit of a boxing situation for the non-toxic Noxians. Seraphine ult hits a lot of people and everyone is dead in just a quick moment. Showstopper comes out for the set, who instantly falls to the other 4 members of Team Unknown, and it looks like Team Unknown is going to be able to clean up the rest of that fight over in just a couple of seconds. Well played, Team Unknown.
1 for 5. That teleport from Seraphine, just being able to pincer them with that, and the perfectly placed ult on top of the already absurd damage that Seraphine's doing. Looks like we do also have Wukong coming in hot with Rift Herald there to put even more pressure onto the top lane as Herald continues to wail on that top inhibitor turret.
I just want to point out, I love the coordination with Team Unknown. They have the Rift Herald, they knock down a tower. They could have tried to go for another tower even though the enemy team was responding, but all 4 of them, almost in unison, decide to recall where they are and reset because they see the dragons coming up.
You know, one thing I can say about Team Unknown.
Oh my goodness, the flash forward for the stun falls immediately to the Jinx. Sorry to interrupt, but that's the way Team Unknown runs.
That's the way it goes. It just, that Lulu got absolutely deleted.
Another engage where they're able to catch Zilean out. Zilean able to use his own ulti, but that leaves the Ashe vulnerable to attacks. Zilean able to get a stun on Seraphine, who's trying to escape, who does get out with his use of his own flash. All of a sudden, all 5 members of Team Unknown are here to absolutely clean out. Huge Seraphine ult still catches the Diana, who's super far away, but it does not matter as the Seraphine ult extends with all of that. Team Unknown suddenly went from even to just
dominating this game.
Yeah, the amount of range that Seraphine has is actually surprising sometimes.
Yes. And Hulu just goes down with a flash forward from the Seraphine to try to finish off Zilean. Almost goes out into turret shots, but of course not. That doesn't go like that. The base situation with Renekton wanting to right here, happy where he is not helping the jungle. Going both ways, both teams does fall to Kodo Draco.
Yeah, Kodo Draco being certainly a very, very strong presence in top lane. Getting a run for it that we're seeing here, but being able to get that dragon that is soul, not quite soul point, as so.
It's crazy to me. Oh, good. It's crazy to me that like Team Unknown gets so strong the minute mid game hits. Once the first tower is gone and they can start responding as a team, that they just become a powerhouse. It's
to the point where I'm like, you might want to play Blitzcrank against Team Unknown so that they can't stick together so often.
You need to, if you're going to fight Team Unknown, you have to.
If you can.
The problem is with Death, it's very like, yeah, he got caught out a little bit earlier. There were some kills that not toxic.
The problem is when you get into these team fights, you have to be able to coordinate it properly so you're not getting collapsed on, like we saw at Otacon.
100%. And I think their style of gameplay really gets into the head of their enemies. As someone who, again, has
Played against them. They're terrifying that they just kind of move as a unit that you can't get anything done. Sarah being able to stop that block, but that is not enough. Is able to respond with their own but it might be too little too late. Turret is still up there. Seraphine trying to live as long as you can. Shut down both goes to the Diana. Not
What Unknown wants to see right now. Very well played by the non-toxic Noxus. Now it looks like Renekton's the one getting caught out. Doesn't look like you're able to close him out, but the slows from Ashe definitely prevent Renekton from pushing
And
down that
it
tower.
places Team Unknown in a very good position for Baron right now. While they don't have Death, they do have 4 other teammates who are able to use this pushing power from that.
Yeah, huge team fight coming out. We're seeing ults, we're seeing haymakers, and what we're also seeing is we're seeing Team Unknown coming up top, try to deal as much damage as she can, but Jinx is doing the pursuit here, and she's able to finish off the getting excited, is able to run up to the non-toxic Noxie.
And with Team Unknown